What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the OddsShopper Golf channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Best 9 Bets. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. US Open, not another good week for me. Could have had some close ones, had a couple of close top 10s. We're going to be talking about a couple of those players. I'm going to be running it back, that's for sure. Some familiar faces, and hey, it's an elevated event we have here at the Travelers Championship, so better field than you normally get, even though generally a fun field, fun golf tournament to be tracking here. Really fun closing stretch of golf. We've all seen the Jordan Spieth hole-out bunker shot. We've all seen Xander Schauffele coming down the stretch. We've seen Bubba Watson. Oh yeah, we don't ever see Bubba Watson anymore. But you know what we do see? BetMGM on the screen behind me. That's great stuff. You're going to want to check them out here. I'll talk about them a little bit later in the program, but get a head start. Go to that video description box below. Get yourself 2 months to the premium insider access here at OddsShopper. Jump into that premium Discord where I post my betting card. We have everybody else posting their betting cards. Everybody posts a betting card, but like smart people. So, well, besides me sometimes. I'm smart sometimes. I have my moments. My wife agrees with that, so it's good stuff. But check out BetMGM, fun stuff, as well as up to $1,000 in bonus bets back on your first bet if it loses. That's great stuff, only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But friends, oh my friends, we've got 9 bets. Yes, 9 bets. We're going to the top 10 market twice here because I started sprinkling those in here about 2 weeks ago. Not successfully, but that's a good thing for you. We're going to be looking in the outright market with 3 shorter players that I'm looking at. Well, are any of them? Some of them might be short, but shorter odds players than normal. We're not going to be going to the back of the board. It is an elevated event. Lots of studs in this field. Let's talk TPC River Highlands, my friends, and let's get to the picks. We head to hole number 1, and producer Alicia's excited about this. She's always excited to watch the best golfers in the world tee off against each other, right? Yeah, thank you for the faux enthusiasm. I appreciate that. I appreciate that about her. That's why we keep her around here. But hole number 1, feel really good about this. And Jon Rahm. Jon Rahm is probably the most underappreciated golfer, teeing it up this weekend according to the books for me. Why is that? He's a massive dog to Scottie Scheffler, and I get it. Scottie Scheffler has been on another stratosphere. I'm not going to call him massive dog, considering we had, plus 200 that we were looking at the other day when it was Tony Finau going up against Jon Rahm. We were happy to bet against that, but that was a different golf course down there at the Mexico Open. This one, my friends, this one is wide open for a lot of different types of players. I do think you want to be having good form coming into it. What person doesn't want good form for their golfers that they're backing? Not that the books can't recognize that too and depreciate the numbers, but I'm getting plus money. Yeah, plus money with anybody against Jon Rahm ever. And I get it. Scottie Scheffler has been on another planet ball striking. But that putter can cool down any second. Jon Rahm's around the green game's been a little bit interesting, that's for sure. But I think it's a little bit muted, mainly because there's not going to be a lot of people hitting it into too much trouble at River Highlands. One of the easier golf courses to hit fairways, greens, kind of plotted around. If it becomes a glorified putting contest, I'm not feeling good about Scottie Scheffler just backing up top five, like he's done constantly this entire season. I get it. I'm going to be betting against a guy who hasn't finished outside of the top 12 since October of last year. Oops. That'll be fun. And yes, Jon Rahm has finished outside of the top 12. He's a mortal human being. Not really. He's pretty immortal too. But 10th at the US Open with 7.6 strokes gained tee to green, gained 2.5 with the putter, gained across the board. And now I'm getting plus 125 here on a golf course that I think suits him better if it's going to be a putting contest. Because everybody's going to be at a better spot if it's a putting contest against Scottie Scheffler. So feels very uncomfortable. It does, but we're going to attack it right out of the gate. Jon Rahm over at DraftKings, plus 125 against Scottie Scheffler, who's a minus 155 favorite. Number 1, number 2 in the world. I'll take number 2. But that's not the only thing we're going to be doing with Jon Rahm here. I have another half unit. Yeah, 2 plays in the outright market. This one over at BetMGM, our sponsor. I'm going to be utilizing him against Patrick Cantlay. And I know why Patrick Cantlay has shorter odds here at the Travelers. This is a golf course that suits his game pretty much perfectly. It still hasn't converted into a top 10 here ever. We've had 5 consecutive top 15s with no top 10s. That's kind of hard to do. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. You ate the whole wheel of cheese? That's crazy, Patrick Cantlay. But look at what we're running into from Cantlay here in terms of recent form. He's lost with the approach now in 2 of 4. He's still finished 14th at the US Open, but that was behind 7.9 strokes a game putting. I repeat, it's a putting contest more than likely in certain spots out here. I don't mean to completely mute ball striking because I am a huge proponent of strokes gain approach, even in spots like this where it's a little bit wider fairways. You do have some water to contend with on a couple of tee shots, par 3 tee shots too, but I love getting to attack Patrick Cantlay, even money. Well, not even money, but even odds on both sides of this one, minus 110 for both over at BetMGM. You still have Jon Rahm, all the things I talked about before. Most underappreciated golfer. Dude wins the Masters, and now he's sitting outside of plus 10 to 1 right now. That just seems a little bit broken to me. Bet we get to that when we get to the betting card too, huh? I think Jon Rahm's really slept on this week. So yeah, even money against Patrick Cantlay. No, thank you. And I get it. We've only had Jon Rahm play this golf course 3 times. Never finished inside of the top 25, but experience, friends. Jon Rahm, fire it up. To hole number 3 we go, friends. And why wouldn't I just go out and short the guy who just won the US Open, huh? Well, I don't know. Bet he had a couple of press obligations. Bet golf isn't exactly entirely on his mind. He flew out from LA to Connecticut like everybody else, but he did so responding to 50 zillion text messages, telling everybody that he loves him, especially his little blonde girlfriend that ran on the golf course. We are going to bet Wyndham Clark to miss the cut here at the Travelers, and I am so aware of your apprehension here. He's won 2 of the last 4 tournaments that he's teed it up in. But the guy just won the U.S. Open in pretty resounding, well, not resounding fashion. He won by 1 over Rory McIlroy, but definitely a little shaky there coming down the stretch. A little shaky. He's now finished 1st, 12th, and 1st in 3 of his last 4. But you saw that PGA Championship miscut? That's what he's capable of doing that a lot of these other top tier players aren't. I still think there is that bust type capabilities for him from time to time. Do I think it's going to be very often? No, I don't. But I'm getting numbers that kind of reflect him being one of the top players in the world now. And I don't think he is. Plus 200. We're getting 2 to 1 here on a guy that there's no doubt about it. He's been very, very talented. The ball striking's looked great. But the putter, 7.5 and 7.3 strokes gained during the course of those last 2 tournaments. If you go to his last 20 sample size, he's gaining less than a stroke putting. So we get back to something flat like that. You get away from that Odyssey insert that everybody's trying to buy, him and Ricky Fowler using the same putter on Sunday. What are we doing, eBay? Over $1,000 for that shit? Stop it. So we're going to be shorting Wyndham Clark, and we can maybe move that money towards a putter. Just not that one, because I don't want to have that long, ridiculous thing in my bag. I bet it's heavy. Wyndham Clark to miss the cut, 2 to 1 over at DraftKings.com. And now I just feel bad. Feel a little sad, a little dead inside. But at least we've been making money on him missing cuts here lately. He's been on the card a lot in the premium Discord. He's been on the card here a lot on this program in terms of missing the cut. Feels like we're picking on a kid who's just struggling. And it makes me feel sick because I'm a golfer. I go through struggles. My putter, I want to chuck it off my balcony on the daily. Justin Thomas probably has that feeling too. He has now lost 3 straight tournaments with the putter, 3.9 there at the US Open, but that's not all, my friends. He lost 6.5 strokes gained He lost 6.5 strokes tee to green last week at the US Open. I get it. The rough is penal. That's what US Opens do, is they really punish you for being off in the ball striking department, but missed the cut at the Memorial. We bet him there. We bet him to miss the cut at the PGA. He somehow snuck through, even though he lost 2.2 strokes gained total to tee to green, finished 65th, barely. I mean, that's damn near DFL, my friends. It's really been tough for Justin Thomas. And we're still getting plus money in an elevated event with a field that has Jon Rahm and Scottie Scheffler and defending champ Xander Schauffele and all of these incredible players that we just saw tee it up, smash last week. And he wasn't even there. He was watching golf on the couch with Max Homa. Both of those guys, I actually think, make decent bets here to miss the cut. But I think Justin Thomas, it's just one of those things, man. It's weird he has shorter odds than Wyndham Clark to miss the cut. I got to throw that out there. But Justin Thomas, poor guy. It's hard to feel bad for somebody who's made millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. But we do. It's a cruel game. Justin Thomas to miss the cut, hole number 4, I don't even feel. Doesn't feel right, but it's the right play. And now a word brought to you by BetMGM. No, nobody's going to talk like that. That's ridiculous. I know you have your DraftKings sportsbook. I know you have your FanDuel sportsbook, but check out BetMGM, my friends. Why? Well, they have some of the best golf odds in the entire industry. I cite them here in matchups. I cite them for the outright odds. There are a couple of spots where you just want to be clicking on BetMGM over other books because it's called OddsShopper. And one of the best ways to increase your ROI when it comes to golf betting is by being signed up at as many sports books as possible, especially when they're offering you great deals to do so. And we got 2 of them for you here today. If it's your first time checking out BetMGM, click on that link below. When you sign up, you're going to get 2 free months of that OddsShopper Premium Discord. Myself, Ben Raza, Eitan Shanter, all the people you know and love on this OddsShopper Golf channel, on the OddsShopper channel, on the Stokastic channel, everybody here on the YouTubes that you really, really trust when it comes to your betting. We are in there posting our betting cards, putting our money where our mouth is every single day, helping you make the best decisions you possibly can in the sports betting space, specifically here on the OddsShopper Golf channel on the PGA. But that's not all. You're also going to get 1 free opportunity to get your money back. Yeah, we're talking $1,000 in bonus bets coming back into your account if your first bet loses. So if you deposit $50 and you fire up $50 on your first bet, you'll get $50 back in bonus bets if it loses. If it wins, keep the money. Run. Go buy yourself a nice steak dinner, even though steak dinners cost a lot more than $50 now for some stupid reason. What a ridiculous thing we're living in sometimes from time to time. Be very careful out there on your Tinder, your Bumble dates. What do the kids do these days? Hinge is the thing. Whatever. What I really want you to do, I want you taking advantage of these sportsbook promotions wherever and whenever you can. And that starts with our friends over here at BetMGM. So check it out. Take advantage of both of those great offers if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all. We got the outright market to get to and 2 top 10 picks to kick it off. Let's get back to the picks. It's hole number 5. That's top of the line. Cute face, little waist with a interesting number that we have attached to Austin Eckroat, my friends. It is wild to see him at these kind of numbers, mainly because we were getting north of 1,000 to 1 pretty routinely, even in things like, I don't know, the Waterbury Open, playing alongside Happy Gilmore. That's seriously what we've been running into on the daily. But this kid out of Oklahoma State, Eckroat, as I affectionately called him my very first tournament. And yeah, I made him a thing. It was me. Nobody else talked about Austin Eckroat coming out of the college into this. He's now pieced together some ridiculous finishes. We're talking T2 at the Byron Nelson, T16 at the Charles Schwab, T10 at the US Open. That was my one floating little upright that helped me keep the caboose in operation at the US Open because, well, if I didn't hit that one, I would have been in a lot of trouble. Would have just gotten blanked across the board all week long. But Austin Eckroat sitting pretty nice number here over at FanDuel Sportsbook, 700 plus 750. So not 7.5 to 1 that we are sitting at for the top 10 market. Look at this golf game starting to come to fruition. He's always been a pretty good ball striker. That's never really been a huge concern. 41st in strokes gained ball striking in his last 50 rounds amongst this. Yeah, I use a 50 round sample size. What are people going to do about it? Just pick your poison. Pick your poison. Somebody came at me the other week about that. I didn't like it. It was very mean. But now 4.4 strokes gained approach and 4.8 strokes gained around the green. He lost 2.4 with the putter last week at the US Open. He is striping it, my friends. Striping it. He's like a zebra. He's got stripes. Or is it Tony the Tiger? I don't know. They both have stripes, right? Nobody cares? I don't really care either. Just telling you, Austin Eckroat is going to top 10 for us here. My favorite play on the entire board this week. Austin Eckroat, 7.5 to 1 to top 10. Fire that puppy up. I should have said second favorite play on the board because I think hole number 6 might even take the cake for me. Eric Cole, bro. I needed a big final round in the DFS department, that being daily fantasy sports. If you don't partake in such things, I recommend checking out Stokastic. Really, really nice. But strokes gained T degree, he is now 30th amongst this field, even higher than that of Mr. Eckroat. And around the green and putting is what he does. So I'm getting the ball striking. I'm getting the around the green game of the putter overall. He lost 4.3 off the tee, and off the tee has been his weakest part of his golf game, but you get these wide open fairways. Bubba Watson would just bomb it. Xander. And it's weird that there's actually some bomber correlation in terms of winners here because I just don't see that this golf course being that prohibitive. We've also seen Kevin Streelman go out and just light it up here too. So two golfers on the absolute ends of the spectrum, no doubt about it. But Eric Cole, he could lose strokes gained off the tee here and be just fine so long as his irons keep doing what they've been doing. We're talking crazy amount of positivity, averaging 1.5 strokes gained with the approach over his last 5, and over his last 20, the identical 1.5 number. So great stuff from him there. Gained 2.9 strokes gained with the putter per tournament in his last 5. We're talking 5.2, 6.2, 5.1. That's resulted in a 24th at the Memorial, 6th at the RBC Canadian, 39th at the US Open. So recent form, absolutely there. Ball striking outside of the driver there. And I'm going to be diminishing that a little bit here on my model for this week. And as a result, you have Eric Cole at a big number, 11-1 to top 10 here, 175-1 in the outright market. Gonna take a little sprinkle, like I'm Salt Bay. It's gonna be beautiful stuff. We can just, I splash the pot whenever CF I please. Teddy KGB, shout out one of the goats. But anyway, let's get ourselves to the true outright market, the winners. But hole number 6, don't forget it, Eric Cole 11-1 to top 10 at FanDuel Sportsbook. Only 3 golfers that I have bet so far to win in this golf tournament. And we kick it off with the longest odds one. He's only 40-1. So as you can tell, I am aiming more at the top of the board than normal. Again, Wyndham Clark, man. I had Sander. There's Rory. There's so many opportunities, so many spots for me to win all the money last week. And no, it's got to be Wyndham Clark. No, it can't be anybody else. Miss the cut, please. Make me feel better about my life. But I am going to feel really good no matter what about Matt Fitzpatrick. Going into the Masters, he was hurt kind of at the beginning of the season, woke up with some kind of a neck issue one day. Those are always annoying. We've all been there, but he really staved off a lot of those issues, ended up firing it up at the Masters. I then bet him at the RBC Heritage. We hit another outright with that one. We had 4 outrights in 6 weeks. Well, it's been a hot second. I want to get back in the winner's circle very, very badly. And the last one we got there with was Matthew Fitzpatrick. Got those good vibes from 10.9 strokes gained tee to green at that event, but specifically, he's been positive with the irons in 6 straight. He has 3 consecutive top 20s. We're talking 9th at the Memorial, 20th at the RBC Canadian, and 17th at the US Open with 4.9 strokes gained around the green. Give me Matt Fitzpatrick in a putting contest where amongst this field, he is just dynamite, gaining 1.8 strokes gained in his last 5 events on average. So across the board, good stuff. Iron play, putter. That's where my model's leading me. 40-1 here for Matt Fitzpatrick. Wish we were getting a better number on our longest odds play currently, but such is life. I'm going where it tells me, and Matt Fitzpatrick is our first play, 40-1. Second up, this one could have been a lot of fun too. This was kind of a late add to the card, mainly because the numbers started getting steeper, and I didn't buy a lot of the narratives that Collin Morikawa had some lingering back issue. He talked about it being preventative. He specifically said, I am just watching the way that I tee up the golf ball, and Twitter blew up. Golf Twitter, golf betting Twitter, golf DFS Twitter just blew up, said Collin Morikawa is unplayable. So what did I do? I jammed him. I had him everywhere in DFS. I bet him outright after the first round when I then, because, well, I mean, I was already there and there were a lot of other spots where things kind of fairly panned out for me, but whatever. I'm not bitter at all. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me, Wyndham Clark? Whatever. I was waiting for this to update on my end. But Collin Morikawa ended up finishing T14. He shot that opening round 71, backed it up with 3 straight 69s heading into the weekend. Nice. Yeah, I'm a child like that. Collin Morikawa, the iron game, completely in check. Now gaining in every single event where there is strokes gained data since the Players' Championship in 2022. It's a long time ago. That's really good. You want Collin Morikawa with the approach game? I sure do. The claw looks a lot better. Was positive with the putter. There are signs, friends, with that putter. If there's going to be life in that thing, he is the best iron player on planet Earth. Maybe other than Scottie Scheffler at this point. Yeah, we should probably give Scottie Scheffler number 1. That's fine by me. But Collin Morikawa, that's his calling card. And he's going to be popular in these DFS streets. So I'm going to be looking at him in the outright market and making sure I am there at DraftKings Sportsbook. There's also a 2.5 to 1 that we're talking about at the top 10. Happy to be firing that up too. But the priority, 25 to 1, he is on the betting card. And the last hole, it would be weird if I just said Scottie Scheffler after shorting him with Jon Rahm, but no, it is, of course, the aforementioned Jon Rahm. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. We have a second at the Mexico Open to Tony Finau. It was just a two-person golf tournament. We saw the win at the Genesis where he went toe-to-toe with Max Homa. Really fun stuff. Ran away at the end. We saw the win at the Masters. He put on the green jacket like Seve. He also won the American Express. He also won the Century Tour of Champions. He has 4 wins and a second place on the resume in 5. I mean, it is ungodly what him and Scottie Scheffler are doing. And yet, you head over to the sportsbook odds. You got Scottie Scheffler sitting there at really short numbers. And Jon Rahm, with those 4 wins and a second, is outside of 10 to 1. Now, you can call this trappy. I know he doesn't have the best sample size when we're talking about this golf course specifically. He doesn't have great course history, hasn't finished in the top 25 here, but I don't care. I'm talking about the number 2 golfer in the world that I'm getting at nearly double the price of Scottie Scheffler. Give me that every single time. Not even a thought about it. I know that we don't do these short odds plays very often, mainly because there's very rarely any value here. I think there is absolutely value on Jon Rahm. We're talking 12 to 1 at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's my favorite of the 3 outrights. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Best 9 Bets. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know that your U.S. Open went better than my U.S. Open. Hopefully. Again, I'm ready to get back on track here. We've hit a lot of outrights on this program so far this season, 4 and 6 weeks. It's been a couple weeks. I'm ready to get back in the winner's circle. Got 3 pretty short odds players, so feeling better about this week than other weeks where we might be taking long shot darts and I'm getting a little cocky. I'm in my feelings. I'm feeling really good. I'd feel great if you guys checked out BetMGM, though, because I want you shopping for the best odds, and then I know you'll be doing that on the daily. I want you hitting that like button on the way out. Those are all the things, and then we're going to enjoy some golf over the weekend yet again. Until next time, my friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck at the Travelers this weekend in Connecticut. Ooh, Connecticut.